Okay. So, there she is. Hey, so I'm gonna do this, like I said, I'm gonna do this a little bit differently. I want you guys to interact with me tonight. I want you to either unmute yourself and answer some questions, or get in the chat box and answer, or raise your hand or whatever you think. But I just want to talk with you guys a little bit about your belief and kind of my thoughts on some of the things that have been going through my head today while I was trying to prepare for this meeting. Wendy, you didn't hear. I just said, I just want you guys to interact with me today. I'm going to talk about some things, and then either raise your hand, unmute yourself, or type in the chat box. So I've been struggling a little bit, not struggling, but I've had some things come up this week that reminded me of the beginning of my journey. And so I wanted to kind of talk with you guys about maybe what you're experiencing, because most of you that are on my team are in the beginning of your journey. Even though I'm a year in, you're either brand new to this team, or you just decided to run with your business, or you've been with us for a couple of months, but nobody's been here longer than a year. And most of you have probably been here 8 months or less. So to me, that's pretty new in your journey. And so the first thing I would just want to ask you is, how many of you are nervous to reach out to people? How many does it make you nervous when you reach out to people, a cold message or something like that? Yep.
Okay. Just cold messaging. I can talk to people all day long. No problem talking, but cold messaging is my kryptonite.
Okay.
I agree with Wendy. I have a problem with the cold messaging too.
Okay. How many?
I'm getting better though.
Are worried about what people think about network marketing?
Me.
Okay, how many of you are worried about what people will think about you personally? Okay. How many of you are worried that you'll lose friends?
Yeah, by posting and sharing. Yeah.
Okay.
Cold messaging for me, not by posting, but cold messaging. If I cold message them too hard, I notice they start deleting me. They don't want to talk to me anymore, and I lose them as a friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many of you love others? How many of you feel like you're a good friend? Okay. How many of you have struggled with a financial hardship? How many of you have struggled with a health problem? Okay. How many of you in those situations would have given anything for somebody to reach out and share something with you that could fix that for you? Okay, y'all gotta get emotional, because if you don't know my story, I was a mom. I'm a mom of two. I'm a mom of two little girls, and I'm a military spouse. But I was just living. I was just surviving, you guys. And I put on a happy face every day. How many of you have done that before? How many of you just put on a happy face to go and hang out with a friend, or pretended like everything was okay because you didn't want them to worry about you or whatever? That was me. I have so many people that thought, oh, her life is perfect, her marriage is perfect, and this and that, because I just put on a happy face to get through the day. I lied to myself a lot. I would pass the iPad to my kids and go back to sleep, and I would make up excuses for myself as to why that was okay. I work so hard, I'm a mom, I deserve a little extra sleep, my kids they're doing educational games, it's okay. They're late to preschool, but she doesn't have to be in school, and it's free, so it's not that big of a deal, because England gives us free 15 hours of childcare. So it's not that big of a deal. I am at the lowest weight that I've ever been at, so I'm healthy. Trying to think what else. I'm crying every day, but I'm crying because I just moved halfway across the world. I've left my family, and it's just tough. The vitamin D here stinks. I blame things on everybody else, but the fact is, I was miserable. I was struggling inside and out, and my husband would come home and he would make some comment about, I don't know, something in the house that wasn't clean that day or whatever, and not meaning to upset me in any way, but I would go off because I felt like my whole life revolved around being a mom, and I would get defensive because I would say every single thing that I do from sun up to sundown is because of you and because of our kids, and I felt unappreciated, appreciated, I guess is the word. And I felt like I didn't have a purpose other than just being a mom. And I struggled with that, but I also struggled with the fact that I had zero desire to work. Zero. I didn't want to work. I didn't want a job. I didn't want to do anything that took me away from my kids. I really, really loved staying home. And I don't know if it's just because I'm lazy sometimes, and I didn't want to answer to anybody else, or because, for just because I love being with my kids, because I do. But there were days that were hard. There were days where I didn't want to be mom. I didn't want to be nagged at every day. I was looking forward to putting my kids into school so that I could just have time to myself. But I knew just having time to myself wasn't going to be enough. I wanted to do something with a purpose with my life. I loved helping others, and I loved talking to people. I'd had a job in corporate America where I got to go to work with other people, but I sat behind a cubicle and talked on the phone and and typed on my computer and barely interacted with anyone. And I was miserable. I hated it. But I did it because it helped my family, but I knew it wasn't for me. So I want to go back to what I was talking about. And I just want to remind you guys that it took me an entire year to even look at Plexus and give it an opportunity. And there are a lot of people that you're going to reach out to over and over and over again that are either going to say no, or they're going to ignore you, or they're going to say not right now. And I just want to remind you that you never know whose life you're going to change. You guys, today my life is so much different than 1 year ago. Today I feel freedom. I have freedom with my kids. I have freedom with, my husband. My husband's getting ready to deploy again. I hate it. It sucks. I can't wait to retire him and bring him home. But 1 year ago, that was never a possibility. 1 year ago, he was going to work until he was at least in the military 20 years. And we've only been in for 6. That's a long time from now. Okay. I'm way far away from my family, and I hate being away from my family. I want to bring him home. That wasn't even a possibility. This gives us choices. Before Plexus, I knew that if I didn't go back and get my degree, that I was going to probably end up working retail or something when my husband retired, because he was still going to be making pennies, less than he was making, at the time. And it's not enough for us to survive off of. So I was probably going to be doing a job that I hated. We got by every month, but I didn't have debt. So many of my friends that are surviving off the same income I did have car payments, they have debt, they struggle with other things. They have maybe child support that they pay or whatever it is, but there's a lot of things that play into what our income is every month, right? I'm looking at Bambi and thinking she just lost her vehicle. Who cares if it was, old or whatever. At that moment, it was what got her to and from every location, and nobody wants that financial burden. And who knows I don't know if she has the money to come up with a car, and if it's a total loss and it was an old car, the insurance isn't going to give her much for it. And so she either has to go and find something, there's cars that have 200,000 miles on it that people have taken excellent care of. They lose that car, they have to go find something else with 200,000 miles on it, and it's not going to be in near as good condition as something that somebody, took really good care of it, right? So anyways, just off topic. But You don't know what people are going to be struggling with. I am so thankful that Rhonda introduced Plexus to me. And I don't think Rob or myself or the rest of my family could ever thank her enough. And I don't care. Please hear me on this. I don't care who rolled their eyes, who blocked her, who unfriended her, who told her network marketing is stupid. You know why? Because she changed my life. She changed not just my life, but she has over 700 people on her team. 700 people's lives were being changed because she chose to not care what other people think and keep moving forward, right? And I'm not saying I want you to lose your friends. I'm not. But I am going to tell you, if people are going to walk away from you because of network marketing, that is not your friend. Absolutely 150%, that is not your friend. I have learned so much about myself and my friends over the last couple of years. I've lost a lot of them. I'm going through a process of losing another one at the moment because God puts people in your life for a reason and a season. I really believe that there are people in my life that have taught me things, that have helped me change, that have made me a better person. But then sometimes God says, you know what? That's not a good influence in your life anymore. And the door shuts and I have to move forward. Is it painful? Yeah, it's really painful. But every single time I've seen joy from it. I've seen myself grow, my family grow, whatever. And I wouldn't walk back in that door if you paid me to. So I just wanted to talk with you guys today because I know what it feels like. I don't care if I've been doing this for a year or not. It is still hard every time I reach out and do those cold messages. But I do remember being a newbie. I do remember exactly what it felt like to send out those first couple of messages. But what I wanted to challenge you with today is I want you to really think about what Plexus has done for you. And if it can, and for me, you know, there are some people in this room that are on this call or they're going to listen, they're going to go, you know what though? Plexus didn't do a whole lot. And I was one of those people in the beginning that I thought I didn't have a big testimony because I didn't have huge weight loss. I didn't have medications that I was off of. I didn't have anything major. I was no longer a tired mom. But I didn't know what my story was going to turn out to be. And God is using me. I am finally learning to be bold enough and confident enough in the fact that I told you I didn't want a job. I also don't really like to lead. I talk a lot, but it makes me really uncomfortable for people to be looking at me. Getting on these Zoom calls was really, really intimidating to me for a really long time. You guys have become my friends and my family, and so it's a lot easier. But when somebody asks me to do it for their team, it's terrifying to me. But God is using me, and I'm being confident in this, using me to be an instrument in other people's journey to change their life. And I got a text message yesterday, and I don't know if you guys saw it. I posted it on Facebook. And it was a complete stranger. I did a what do you call it? A Zoom training with another team for their team a long time ago, and they asked us to. And she just reached out to me and she said, I know you have no clue who I am, but I just watched your Plexus video with your sister and it was amazing. You said so many things that resonated with me, and I've been taking the products and recently decided to take the Plexus plunge. I just want to say thank you for your time in making such a powerful video. You guys, I was terrified to get on that video, and I thought I talked in circles, but it impacted somebody's life. And she might be changing her financial future. She might be changing her health. She might be changing other people's life and freedom. And so if you're not confident in what you do as a network marketer, I want you to throw that out the window, because I want you to write down all the things that are possible with this company. And you're making a huge impact on people. I know if you don't have much of a team yet, it doesn't feel that way. But when I look at the 515 people on our team, that list of people that are on my back office, those are individual lives, 515 of them. Think about how many lives, if each one of those people touch 3 lives with Plexus. I get it. Plexus are supplements, but I've seen Plexus bring Jesus into people's lives. I've seen Plexus bring health freedom into people's lives, seen people be pain-free. I've seen them be able to go outside. I've seen them be able to go to the bathroom that they weren't ever able to. We have a young boy whose mom is on our team who was getting ready to have a one of those colostomy bags for the rest of his life, and he tried Plexus and doesn't have to anymore. And I will shout Plexus from the rooftops for that one person, because we have something gold. And yeah, it stings. I had somebody that, made fun of me yesterday in a comment of somebody's Facebook message indirectly. She wasn't, enough to be able to say it to my face, obviously. And it stung. It did. It stunk. It stung. But I'm getting over those things because that's their loss. Because I've got people's lives to change. I've got people to impact. I've got friends to make. I've got Jesus to bring into people's lives. And that's what makes it worth it. Somebody was asking, what do you want to do when you reach Emerald? Why is that so important to people? Like, what's the one thing that you could do to once you reach Emerald? And the first thing that comes to my mind is my husband. I'll be honest. The very first thing that comes to my mind is we're one step closer to be able to bring him home for good. That our family has choices, and that if for some reason something happened, he could leave and we would not fall apart. But the second thing that comes to my mind is that I want every single one of you with me, and that I want to see your dreams come true. I want to see your financial stress go away. I want to see your health freedoms come. And that it means more to me. I struggle with my why, you guys, because my why is probably equally both of those things. There are days where I'm like, oh, my husband, I hate the military, I want him to come home. But I would say probably more days that when somebody tells me, whether it's a small financial thing or a health thing or whatever, or somebody reaching out to me like this with Plexus that doesn't even know me, that isn't even on my team, that I make no money off of, I will tell you that is almost stronger than wanting to bring my husband home, because I love seeing other people believe in themselves. I've been saying this from the beginning. Someday I'm going to have a quote somewhere in my office that just says, believe in people long enough that they believe in themselves, because that is my purpose. I truly believe that my God-given purpose in this business, it's not to lead people, it's to believe in each of you until you believe in yourself. Because I see complete greatness in every single one of you. And in individual things, we're all so different. There is nobody on this call tonight that I think has the same personality at all. We're all so different. We all run in different circles of friends. We might have a few of mutual ones, but we're all very, very different. And so that's really what I want to get across today, you guys. I want you to believe in yourselves. I want you to know that you just never know whose life you're going to change. What if somebody never brought Plexus into your life? Okay? If somebody never brought Plexus into my life, I would still be struggling. I would still be exhausted. I would still be crying every day. I would still be struggling to find a purpose. My marriage was really, really rocky at that point. I don't know. Maybe we would be talking about divorce. There's a lot of things that could have been those what ifs, but I would not go back in a second. And if Plexus didn't pay me amazingly well, like they do, I would still share it every single day. Because it's changed my family. Not just me, my mom, my dad, both my sisters, my uncles, my grandparents, so many people in my life, my friends, just so many people. So I just want you to think about that. So when you're going out and sending those cold messages, I want you to remember that this is not about you. It's about them. And I don't know, baby. Close my door. I'm having a meeting, okay? I love you. But this isn't about you. It's about them. What if this could change everything for them? And if you focus on that, it's not going to feel as bad when people are naysayers, because it's not about me. I am really, they can say it all they want, but I'm really confident in the fact that I don't do this for money. Sure, it's nice. It's a great, okay, please, I'll be there in just a minute. Okay, close the door. The paycheck's nice. It's great. It's a wonderful bonus, but I don't do this for money. I really don't. I do this because I love sharing with people. I love seeing other people feel better, and I love seeing people's dreams come true. And I didn't start this for money. In fact, I tell a silly story all the time that I used to get on a Zoom call with Rhonda back when our team was a lot smaller. And there was 2 other people on the call, and they were laughing at me because I kept all my money in my pay portal, because I had several $100s in my pay portal. And I'm like, I don't know what to do with this, because I had zero intentions of having a business. I didn't think I was going to make any money. I didn't care to make any money. But when it started changing my life, I started sharing about it. I just wanted to cover the cost of my products. That's all that I cared about. And so I had all this money sitting in my pay portal because I didn't know that I would have a business. So I'm like, now what do I do with it? And so just kind of my side note, but I just don't want you to feel scared when you're sending out messages, because I want you to remember what you have. And so then I just want to flip back over to what is, about cold messaging. Be yourself. Please be you. Please don't be me. People ask me for cold message examples, and I send them to you, but don't send out my messages. Not because I don't want you to, but because people see right through that. It's not you. Be you. Get on a voice message if you don't like to type, and tell them why you love Plexus. Tell them what it's done for your life. They will see your heart, and that is what people want. People don't want you to sell them a product. They want you to tell them your story. Why on earth do they really need another product from another company? Be honest with them what it's doing for you and what it's doing for your family or other people. And if you haven't been with Plexus very long, don't be afraid to jump in. Use other people's testimonies. This stuff is the real deal. I would not talk about Plexus if it did not completely change my life and those around me. And there are days that I struggle, that I'm like, oh, is this really worth it? Believe me, I have my days too. And it's your stories. It's your stories that I share, because I sometimes have to borrow belief from other people to get through my moment or my day that I'm struggling with. But I'm quickly reminded by all of the faces of our team that this is incredible. You guys, I did another network marketing company for 2 years. I've been doing Plexus for just over a year. We have over 500 people on our team. I did another network marketing company for 2 years, about 8 years ago, and I had 0 people join my team. This is not about me. This is about our products, and this is about life change. If this was about me and I was good at this, and I'm good at network marketing, I can grow this business, I would have been successful in any network marketing company. This is not about me. And I hope that you can see that. I hope that that maybe it makes it a little bit easier when you send out that next message, that what if this changed everything for that person? What if you held it back? What if you didn't share it with them? What is their life going to look like? But what if they say yes? Don't make that judgment call for them. Let them make the decision of whether or not they're interested or not. Somebody could have been sharing Plexus with me for a whole year before, the Plexus has been around several years before I ever joined Plexus, and nobody told me about it. I struggled with infertility. I struggled with, hormonal imbalances. I've struggled with energy. I've struggled with weight loss for many, many years in my life. And if somebody would have brought this into my life years before that, I would have had changed life then, but I didn't because nobody brought it to me. But what if, but I'm so thankful that they did, because now I have an opportunity for something else. And then when you come to the business side, I'm like, what? My life is so different now. What if I could change that for somebody else? I just have this huge desire for other people to experience this life change. So I just want to open the floor a little bit and just ask you what is it that makes you nervous? What is it that that intimidates you? And and any other fears that you have. I just want to talk through them with you. Anybody gonna be bold enough to talk about them?
Mine was just sometimes I feel like when I post too much Plexus stuff, they're like, oh my gosh, another Plexus post. And it's just super hard because they don't get to see me. So they don't know what I'm like anymore, because I'm not there around them anymore. So my friends that are around me notice a difference, or that I talk to on the phone, they're like, oh yeah, I can totally tell. But I feel like just sharing some of the posts on there, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm bombarding my Facebook and nobody likes them. But then when you post something, you notice they'll like it. So I think that's just the hardest part, is feeling like I'm chasing away friends.
Okay, so I want to touch on the posting part. So it's really important that we keep both things on our Facebook, that you're talking about family and life, and which you do a great job about. But our Plexus post should be as personal as possible, and here's why. I tell people, you guys, if you're on my team, you've been on my team very long, I've said this over and over again. Don't post graphics. You can every once in a while, but don't use that as a primary thing. And even graphics that you make about Plexus, because people scroll past those things. I've been using LuLaRoe as an example. Okay, I know exactly what their logo looks like, right? I like LuLaRoe, have no issues with LuLaRoe, but I know when I need it and when I don't need it, right? So when I see that unicorn or I see that rainbow sign or whatever, I scroll past it quickly. I don't even have to stop and read the whole word. I know exactly what it is. I scroll past it. But if I see somebody standing in the mirror in a pair of leggings, or I see them sitting in the car with their coffee in their hand and they're in a pair of bright colored leggings, stop and read what they have to say most of the time, because I'm curious what they're talking about. And it might be a LuLaRoe post, but it might not be. It might be something totally different. So think about your days. Think about how you're sharing Plexus and make it personal. If you're, whatever it is, it doesn't even have to say Plexus. Just talk about, Wendy, one of the things for you that I've noticed is you've been active. You've been so much more active than you have been in the last couple of weeks because of our Drink Pink and Move thing. Just post yourself walking. I'm so thankful for all this extra energy I have. You don't have to say Plexus. Just post about walking. And people will know. People know you're the crazy Plexus lady. They know that about me. I don't have to say Plexus. They know that about me. So just being able to post about energy or better sleep, or getting to hang out with my kids, my time freedom, my financial freedom. If I post a picture of a brand new purse that I got or something, people know that, a year ago I couldn't have afforded that. They know that. If I post a picture of my new office, they know there was no way that I was gonna be able to afford that, because I was always talking about how I was broke, because I was. So they know that. And so that's what I would challenge you on, is just post personal things, and every once in a while slip Plexus in there, but you can post about Plexus without being salesy and without it being a graphic post or just a picture of your pink drink. I think the pink drink is great, but I've seen people get creative and they have a crazy messy house and their kids are going nuts and whatever, and they have like this teeny tiny bottle of Edge in the corner of the picture, but you know, and they say like, you wonder how I get through my crazy day or something like that, or mom life or whatever. But they, you know, they don't, you know, that's, so those are just a few examples. You know, I say that a lot. People wonder why I need Plexus, and I post a picture of, I don't know, something crazy my kids are doing. You know, so just talk about what it's doing for you. If you're a nicer person, I'm such a nicer person. Sometimes my kids get the brunt of me, but I'm so much nicer to them than I ever was prior to Plexus. And I can talk about that without having to say Plexus. I really can. But then as far as friends, again, I'm just gonna say you they're not your friends, you guys. They're just not. And I know it feels crappy to realize that. It does. When people walk away from my life, when I'm passionate about something and I'm changing lives, they are not my friends. It doesn't feel good, but I know that God is removing those people so that the fresh people can come in, because there are going to be people. It is really hard to find a good, solid friendship, but those solid friendships are people that are going to believe in your passion. They don't have to buy my product. I have friends that do not buy Plexus, but they believe in me. They lift me up. They share my posts if I need them to. If I reached out to them, I reached out to somebody a couple of weeks ago and just said, if you know anybody that could use these, could you please send them my way? No problem, Ansley. I'm going to start thinking about a couple of people, but they're never going to buy my product because they don't want it. But that is a friend. And they're not going to block me or unfollow me or ignore me or roll their eyes at me, because this is bettering my life. And if they are really my friends, they're happy for me for that. And they're going to celebrate with me for that. And they may or may not become a Plexus believer. I don't know. But that's okay. But those are friends. Friends are not the people that decide to, you know, leave, that are your high school buddies that leave you on Facebook. That's not. It's just not. And I hope that you guys can see that. I'm not saying it doesn't stink. I'm not saying that it's not a dig and it doesn't make you, you know, want to, I don't know, be mad or cry, because I've done it, or ruin your whole day. But I really think if you looked at whether or not where that person is in your life, you would probably see the same thing I do. Anybody else? Any other fears, worries, thoughts?
My thing, and it kind of goes along with what we're talking about anyways, but my biggest struggle right now, like, I've been able to overcome, like, reaching out to people that I didn't want to reach out to, starting with. But my biggest fear still is I've sent so many messages, and I'm literally almost to every single person on my Facebook, but so many of them haven't, like, responded but have wrote it. And those are the ones I struggle to send another message back. Because, like, what do you say? Hey, can I talk to you about Plexus again? Like, you ignored me the first time.
So it depends on what you've sent them. But I have people, you know, I have people that I've sent. I have my list. It's always right here. I'm trying to think of somebody I've sent. Probably I have people that I've sent probably 10, 12, 14 messages. I think I shared last week of somebody I've sent 25. I sent 25 messages to her. She ignored every single one of them. And then last week said, what does it cost me to start this stuff? So it is intimidating to send out that message, but you just never know. And so, but I usually, I try not to send out a ton of stuff in the first message, because it gives me something else to talk about. So usually I'll send out, you know, just, hey girl, you know, I'm falling in love with these products. They've changed my life. I'd love to talk to you about them. Are you free this week? You know, something simple. And it may not sound exactly like that. I change it up depending on, you know, who it is. And, but then the next week I can say, hey, I just wanted to share with you a little bit about what Plexus has done for me. Tanya, you have amazing before and after pictures. Send those babies out. I know that it makes you nervous, but send them out. Close your eyes and send them, because people love seeing before and after pictures, but they want to see them from real people. You're real and tangible to them. But if you don't have a before and after picture, you know, a sale is a good thing to follow up on. The Drink Pink and Move group is a great thing to follow up on. Hey, do you have any health goals this year? I just wanted to invite you to our group that we're doing right now. We're doing, it's got motivation and workout videos and, you know, healthy recipes. I'd love to help you get started. You know, something as simple as that. It doesn't have to be, I think I caught Felicia's live video right before I jumped over here from her team page. If you haven't seen it, go back over to her team page and watch it. But, you know, she said, stop overthinking. And I just had a conversation with somebody last night about this. You guys, don't overthink Plexus. Don't overthink those messages. They don't have to be long. Be you. I would challenge you to get on a voice message, because people like to hear from you and they like to hear your heart, and just be real. Sometimes I have to send out, if they're my friends or some people I think are my friends, I'm like, hey, thanks for ignoring me, send. because I'm like, I got to keep it real, because that's who I am. Or, you know, yeah. I'm trying to think what else I've sent to somebody. You know, I don't know, just something to, there was somebody that I've sent several messages to. They decided they wanted to do Plexus, then they fell off the face of the earth, and they have completely ignored me. And so sometimes I'll send out something like, hey, did I say something to offend you? That wasn't my intention. I'm just so passionate about Plexus. It's completely changed my life. And send. Because if people are ignoring you for a reason, but you really didn't say anything that bothered, they're going to respond and be like, no, I'm just super busy, or no, I'm just, you know, I've got something going on, whatever. You know, but a lot of times, then the other part of that is, if they're flat out not responding to you, if they're not saying no, please don't take that as a no. Because I don't know if anybody else has this personal experience, but my personal experience is, if I don't want something, I tell people no. Okay? If somebody sent me something the other day for Pampered Chef, I wasn't interested. I like Pampered Chef. Nothing wrong with Pampered Chef. I don't need anything right now. So I just messaged her back and said, hey girl, not interested right now. Thanks. She probably contact me again in 6 months, because I said not right now, but I didn't say no. And that's okay. She can reach out to me again. It's not going to offend me. But if I don't want something, I say no, or no, thank you. And then on the other side of that is, I have this lip sense that I just started. I have done this with Rodan and Fields. I have done this with Younique. I've done this with so many different things where I'm like, ooh, I really, LuLaRoe, oh, I really want that, but I'm in the middle of something, or I can't answer her right now, or I don't know what I want, and I don't have time to like get into this whole conversation with them right now, so I ignore it. And guess what? I get 100 messages a day. So sometimes it gets lost, or sometimes I want to know who's really doing their business. You know, I like to support network marketing people, but I like to support them when they are trying to run a business, because I'm trying to run a business and I want to be loyal to one person. So I might get 25 LuLaRoe messages, but if there's somebody that comes back to me over and over again, that's the person that I am going to give my business to. So don't not reach out, because there might be an opportunity in their life. Something might change, especially as how you've been in this company, 2 months or 3 months now?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
Yeah, 3 months.
How many things have changed in your life in the last 3 months?
A lot.
Okay. So don't give up on people, you guys. I have 2 friends that this last month lost their job. Okay? Their finances, and I have 2 or 3 more that have gotten a divorce. Their financial situation has probably changed. They might take my business opportunity a little bit differently. They might just consider it. But if I don't reach out to them and they decide, hey, I want to do this, and somebody else does, guess whose team they're going to be on? Not mine. So don't not reach back out to people. Does that make sense? And if you have trouble, if you get stuck, and just send me some screenshots, you guys. I'm always here to answer questions. Send me a screenshot of what you've started with and what you've ended with. and I'll help you come up with something to say. I don't want to be you. I want you to be you, but I can help you with what I would say, and then you could tweak it to sound like you. But my purpose in the be you part is, you won't ever find me talking to somebody about. Okay, I'll be right there. Okay, I'll be right there. That always destroys something while I'm on this meeting. That I do not, I don't talk about ingredients because it is not my interest. I don't know enough about it. I am not a researcher when it comes to ingredients, so you won't find that for me. If I sent a message to somebody, I really believe that people would see right through that and know that that's not for me, and it would sound salesy because it's not my personality. So be who you are. My personality is just to be, hey girl, what's up? What are you doing? Hey girl, how's life? Or what are you doing for work? That is exactly what my messages sound like, because it's just coming from my heart, and maybe that doesn't sound very heartfelt. Sometimes they're not, but sometimes they are. Maybe I've seen somebody really struggling with something. When somebody's struggling with infertility or sick kids or something like that, I have a really hard time reaching out to them because it touches me so much. I don't want people to think that I'm trying to sell them a product. I usually say, you can buy from anybody, but I just want you to hear this from me because it changed my life, or it would have changed my life if I had it in the moment, especially when it comes to infertility. I've seen way too many people get pregnant off of Plexus that have struggled, that I wish that somebody had shared it with me when I was struggling. And I wish that was around. But I know also what it feels like to feel like when you are struggling with something that everybody wants to sell you something or everybody wants to fix your problem. And so I don't want to come off that way, but I don't know how else to do it but then to share it, because I have to, because I feel obligated, because I wish that I would have had that, right? So just be you, and you know what, if they can't see you in that, then oh well, some will, some won't, who's next? We have to move forward and move on, but we all have a purpose. We all have a reason that we're in this business. But I'm sitting here looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that weren't in my life prior to Plexus. Not one of you on this call was in my life prior to Plexus. Actually, Rachel, for a short period of time. But other than that, none of you were in my life prior to Plexus. My life is so much fuller with each and every one of you on this team. I feel like you guys you're my friends, but you're also my family. I feel like if I have a problem, I can go to Rachel or Wendy and sit in their living room and cry, and they will cry with me, and they will hug me, and they will pray over me, right? Y'all get emotional. Whew. But I do, because I love you guys, and I truly believe that. And so think about, what if there is 7 people that you're going to bring into your team, into your life, that are going to change that for you, that you're going to be able to sit down in their living room and cry and have those conversations with. And that when I have a Diamond documentary someday, I want you guys a part of it, because you're the reason that I do what I do every day. And so I hope you can hold on to that. I hope you can know that there are people that are every single one of you. If you don't feel like you have a purpose, you have a purpose, and you're going to change somebody's life, even if it's just one. You have a purpose, and you're going to change somebody's life with these supplements. And I know that can sound crazy if you're brand new to this, but if you're on this call, it's because that supplement changed your life in some way. And so I don't have any fear in saying that to you, because I know you know it. The only difference between you and somebody out there on Facebook is that they haven't tried it yet. So you don't have to convince them that they work. You just have to convince them to try it. They have a 60-day money-back guarantee. You're not duping anybody into anything. They can get their money back, but all you're asking for them to do is try it. So why not? Why not? Why, what's the reason? What made you try Plexus? Think about that. What was it about somebody else that made you try Plexus? Because there's a reason that you said yes. Girls, put it down. All right. Anybody else? Any other questions? Any thoughts? I'm gonna stop recording.